this way, please.
To the right, to your right. Just on the end there, please.
And Dave, to your right. Guys, start you on the right, please. That's lovely. Looking this way, please.
Zoe, to your left. Zoe's trying to...
Front of the dress there, please. Zoe, just there. Sit in front of the dress here, please.
Eyes to the top row.
Takes her craft seriously. She's super funny and peculiar and beautiful. And, you know, she talked to this guy, he started talking to me about stuff we've done. And I was being reminded of what
Thank you. Thank you so much.
making something that's important when it works so beautifully the first time around. And hello.
This is quite a change. James Gunn gave us more of everything. Gave us more humor, more action, more drama.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many spoilers. You know, I think he looks right now. So we're getting back here now.
Fans are going to be so happy with Volume 2. I know I'm a fan of the first one, and I was very happy with it. It is different. It's a bigger, more complex film. The laughs I think are heightened. The drama is heightened. It's a deep script. You get more into the emotion of the characters. If the first movie was falling in love, the second movie is maintaining that relationship and getting deeper in it. I mean, you find out the other half of Peter Quill's origin. You find out the reality of his biological father and how that juxtaposes to his relationship with Quill's relationship with Yondu. You find out that you dig deeper into the sibling rivalry between Gamora and Nebula. There's a new character named Mantis who is extraordinary. She gives you there's a really funny relationship that develops between her and Drax, and she gives her a nice emotional window, because she's an empath, into what Drax is feeling about his past. Baby Groot's there. I mean, it gets really deep. I don't know if I can put my finger on it. We caught a moment, and we were unexpected, and we just caught a great moment, and it's a really cool, deep story, and it's a big budget production. It's one of the few things in the world people seem to be able to agree on these days, that they like this movie and they want to get together. So, jump on board. It's a fun ride, and we worked our butts off on it.
More of everything. More action, more drama, more comedy. I think that James Gunn, our director, just wanted to please our audiences and give them exactly what they were asking for. It was great. Gamora has really turned on a new leaf. In the first installment, she was very selfish. She was all about herself. And in the second one, she's acclimated quite nicely, or at least she's trying to this new family, and she's taken on the role of like this mom, and she keeps the Guardians in check and keeps them good. It's not something she likes to do all the time, because I think that she finds them quite annoying, but she'd much rather be with them than be with Thanos. I think that the biggest message when it comes to family is that you usually don't get to pick your family, so deal with the ones you have, make the best of it, forgive their trespasses, and accept them for who they are while they're accepting you for who you are. I think that's the overall message when it comes to family. They're doing great. They're fantastic. They're females, so I think Gamora is quite pleased with that. And I think I can't really imagine Guardians of the Galaxy without them. I think the music really helped, like maybe 75% of it. The other 25%, I think it was all us. But the music definitely is paramount to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Also because it's so dated, so it gives the future a very pop culturist kind of feel that makes it very enticing, not just for millennials and the younger crowd, but also for their parents that are probably products of the 80s and 70s, just like James Gunn, because we're all very young.
the huge luxury is that you don't have to introduce the characters again. People already know them, they've embraced them, they're in love with them. So we kind of hit the ground running in this, and I think we just kind of pick up, not long after where we left off. And you really just see how these characters have really become a tight-knit family. And I think that's what they can expect. This is the theme of our film, man, family. We really just explore the relationships between certain characters and the dysfunctional relationships between a lot of the characters. But I think we really just embrace that theme, and it's all about family. And sometimes your family is dysfunctional, sometimes family is chosen, they're not blood family. And I think that really, we just really send that overall message that you really shouldn't take your family for granted, no matter who they are. Sometimes you really overlook them and you do take them for granted. At the end of the day, you have to realize that they're there for you and you're there for them. And sometimes you just have to stop and take a deep breath and say, I love you. So in this film, Drax is, he's a little bit more content. He's found a meaning for life again. He's found, people that he loves and cares about. And that's just it, man. He's really learning to love again and live and enjoy life. And he's also, he's just learning new things, how to not take things so literally. So I think he's just a more content Drax, He's happy. Yeah. There's absolutely nothing not to love about Baby Groot. There's, for one, even just the name Baby Groot. It's just and awesome. He's so much fun in this film. It was so much fun playing around with this character. It was now just, he's a baby again. But he's like our baby. He's someone we all love and protect, but it's just, and he's so adorable. But at the same time, it's somewhat annoying as a performer. To really give your heart into a performance and know that all that people are going to remember is cute little baby adorable Groot. He's just going to steal every scene.
It's so special to come home and share this film with everyone. It's amazing to show it to everyone, but to just be back on sort of like home soil is amazing. And my whole family have come down from Scotland, so it's a really special occasion for me. I think it's funnier, the soundtrack is better, it's more moving, it's going to make you cry harder. There's just like so many elements that are just elevated from the last film. I think that when the first film came out, it was a complete breath of fresh air in the sci-fi superhero genre. We really needed something that was a little less serious and it had just all these misfits together, and I think everyone can connect with that. So I think that's why people are really enjoying it. He's amazing. I couldn't ask for somebody better to work with, honestly. He is so good with actors. First of all, he writes the script, so he knows the characters inside out, and then he just gives you freedom to play around, but he also gives you amazing direction, and it's such a collaboration. He's amazing to work with. This film is all about relationships. That's the heart of the movie. We all love explosions and fight sequences, but really it doesn't mean anything without solid relationships to connect to. And this film has so many. For me in particular, my character Nebula and her sister, it's all about that relationship, and we have an amazing evolution and arc, and it's really interesting. Music is part of the identity of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was in the first movie, very much so in the second movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. I've been listening to it in the car on the way here, just getting ready.
It wasn't just one thing. It's a relationship between two sisters that I think a lot of sisters can relate to, and brothers as well. The relationship between Gamora and Star-Lord is there something there? Is there not something there? Is there unrequited love? The relationship between Drax and Mantis I find really interesting. That's two people who aren't aware if they're attracted to each other and wouldn't until a special moment happens. And then there's the relationship between Peter and his father, Ego, and all of the things that go into a child who's grown up wondering what his father was, and a father who's been looking for a long time for his son. So the balancing act that he carried out. Now amongst that, you also have Baby Groot and Rocket and their relationship to the universe, and each other. So I thought it was really well done. He lives on a planet that he has made. So he's, as he says, a god with a small g. So that person is going to come into Peter's life, and Peter's going to find out that that's his dad. So that means that we have to find out what Peter has. Now, the things he didn't know, that were, as he said before, his father was not from Missouri, but that's all he knew about him. Turns out he's not from Earth. So, you know, that's a great character to play. I had a great time doing it. I think I was really looking forward to meeting Chris, because I'd heard that he was a really good guy, and my daughter Kate said, you know, you're really going to like working with him. And all of the actors, I think, have been beautifully cast in Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was nice to see that they were all very comfortable in their roles, and they all very much believed in James. And I think that ultimately, as much as meeting the cast, I was interested to meet James, because he has his hand firmly grasped on this world, and I think that it's his baby, and I liked working with him. Well, clearly it's the best. I don't know. I think it's terrific. I thought the first one was great. I thought it was very different from some of the other ones they've done. It lives in a different place, and I think James's approach about familial relationships as well as friendships and relationships to society in general are their forefront. Nice to be a part of something that is unique in that regard for a lot of fans, and I'm just glad I had the opportunity to do it. It feels great. I don't know what they think they're going to get, but I like watching their reaction to it. So whatever you're going in thinking, you may come out feeling different. You don't know what it is.
Oh, I loved it. I was really, really moved, and I found it really funny too, so I was really happy. So I'm an alien with antennas, and I'm a little bit weird, and I haven't never experienced being with other people, so I'm kind of like, you know, I don't really know how to interact with them, and I have empathic powers. If I touch someone, I can feel their feelings, and I can change them. I was kind of nervous at first, and then it went really well. You know, they were really welcoming and really sweet, and you know, it became part of the family pretty quickly. Exciting, exhilarating, and unique.
The CGI stuff is just amazing. I mean, visually it's crazy and awesome, and character-wise, I mean, everyone gets a whole, not a whole new makeover, of course, but we get to discover more interesting, cool, maybe sinister, darker sides and pasts that they've had, especially my character, and yeah, it's cool, man. It's going to be good. Good. Gave us actors something to do. You know, we got to stretch the roles a little bit more. Things that Yondu had done in the past are sort of boiling up and festering inside, and they need answers. They need to be expressed. And he's not really a talkative kind of guy when it comes to feelings and stuff. You know, I think you probably noticed that from the first one. So things sort of just build up until they have to come out. I think what they relate to this crazy group of weirdos. James Gunn wrote it and directed it, and using his humor, his sensibilities, his sardonic humor, I might add, he just sort of adds that extra element, I think, and he's very good at casting. So he casts really well, you know, people for that's really a really good fit for the role, and so yeah, I think that helps a lot. Feels good, man. Feels good. I hope they're ready.
It's great. I mean, I'm getting tweets especially from New Zealand and Australia, I guess, where the movie opened up today. So I'm getting just hundreds and hundreds of tweets today that people excited to see the movie. And of course, the people you want to please most of all are the fans, and it feels great. I think people can expect the unexpected. I think we get to know the characters a little bit more deeply. I think we get to know the characters in a more intimate way. And I think that's really what the film is about, is taking the story of the Guardians to the next level. It's easier doing the second movie simply because I knew the universe. I think that we went a lot, through a lot on the first movie in the post-production process, figuring out what everybody looked like, what they moved like, what the world was like, what the tone was like. And in this movie, we came in knowing all that. I also knew who was playing the roles. So the first movie, I wrote a screenplay. I didn't know Chris Pratt was going to be cast or Dave Bautista was going to be cast. And this time I was able to write actually for those actors. Well, I'm always most excited to see Stan Lee. Stan Lee is the guy that started this whole Marvel universe, and everything we do owes a debt of gratitude to him. So I'm always happy to see his cameo, and I think he has the best cameo he's ever had in any Marvel Universe movie ever. I think probably of the soundtrack songs, probably my favorite is Cheap Trick's Surrender. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. Real happy to have it on the soundtrack, but I also love Fleetwood Mac. I love Brandy. I think that choosing the songs this time, we have some way bigger songs than we had the first time. Much bigger artists, bigger hits, and we also have some songs that are much more obscure that people don't know. Baby Groot is an emoji come to life. That's how I described him initially to the folks as we were trying to put him together. He's an emoji come to life. He's very sweet. He's everything inside of us that loves something cute and baby-like, but he's also a murderer. So you got to be careful around him. Well, it makes me feel good. It also makes me feel tired because I have another 3 years of making a movie ahead of me. But I'm going to take a little break and then I'll be raring to go.
I came to a gig a few weeks ago, it took like 2 fucking hours to get home. Granted, it was like the gig crowd. Yeah.
This is a new actor, you guys probably haven't heard of him, but I'm going to introduce him now. One of my closest friends in the world, the one, the only Mr. Chris Pratt! Thank you all for coming here tonight. I hope you guys love the movie. We put a lot of care and love into the film. It's a movie about outcasts, for outcasts, and I hope maybe you get something out of it. So thank you for coming tonight. We love you all. Thank you.
Hey Marvel fans, are you excited for release of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Do you think it's going to be as good as the first one? Well, did you know that until Deadpool was released, the first Guardians was the highest rated Marvel film? And it was the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that was written to be a standalone film. There are almost zero references to other objects or characters from other Marvel movies. Now, despite this, some characters from Guardians will appear in future Marvel movies with characters from the Avengers. Who's your favourite Marvel character? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you want to keep updated on all the latest trailer releases, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to check the notification bell. See you next time.